Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 318, The Night of the Undead. Upper beginner. Jake and Lisa were a young couple who lived in a quiet suburban neighbourhood. They had a cosy home and life was peaceful. But one fateful night, everything changed. It started with strange reports on the news. People were talking about a mysterious illness spreading rapidly through the city. The symptoms were unusual: high fever, severe headaches, and then something terrifying. The victims would rise again, but they were no longer human. They had become zombies. Jake and Lisa tried to ignore the news, hoping it was just a bad joke or a misunderstanding. But as the days passed, the situation grew worse. Their neighbourhood, once safe and quiet, was now filled with fear and uncertainty. One evening, as they were having dinner, they heard loud noises outside. Jake went to the window and saw a group of zombies stumbling down the street. Panic set in. They knew they had to leave their home to survive. They packed a few essential items and quietly slipped out the back door. The streets were eerily silent, except for the occasional groans of zombies in the distance. They decided to head to the countryside, hoping it would be safer there. Their journey was long and dangerous. They encountered zombies at every turn, but they managed to stay hidden and avoid direct confrontations. They moved from one abandoned house to another, finding temporary shelter and scavenging for food. One night, they found a small farmhouse that looked safe. Exhausted, they decided to spend the night there. Jake and Lisa blocked the doors and windows with whatever they could find. They felt a little safer inside, but knew they couldn't let their guard down. As they sat in the dimly lit kitchen, they heard a noise from upstairs. It was faint at first, but it grew louder. Jake grabbed a makeshift weapon and slowly climbed the stairs, with Lisa close behind. Their hearts were pounding with fear. They reached the top of the stairs and saw a shadow moving in the hallway. Jake held his breath and stepped forward. Suddenly, a zombie lunged at him from one of the rooms. Jake swung his weapon and managed to push the zombie back, but more were coming. Jake and Lisa fought desperately to keep the zombies at bay. The farmhouse that seemed like a safe haven was now a death trap. They ran back downstairs, trying to find a way out, but the zombies were relentless. In a moment of desperation, they decided to make a run for the barn outside. They dashed out the back door and sprinted towards the barn, with zombies close on their heels. They reached the barn and slammed the door shut, barring it with a heavy beam. For a moment, they thought they were safe, but then they heard a scratching noise from the back of the barn. They turned around and saw more zombies breaking through the wooden walls. There was no escape. Jake and Lisa held each other tightly, realizing this was the end. They had fought bravely, but the odds were against them. The zombies broke through the walls and swarmed the barn. The last thing Jake and Lisa saw was the monstrous faces of the undead closing in on them. Their screams echoed through the night as the darkness consumed them. The once peaceful countryside was now a land of horror, where the dead walked and no place was safe. The night of the undead had claimed yet another couple, and the terror continued to spread. Vocabulary notes. Fateful, meaning having far-reaching and often disastrous consequences or implications. Example, but one fateful night, everything changed. Similar words, momentous, crucial, pivotal, Treacherous, meaning extremely dangerous and unpredictable. Example, they decided to head to the countryside, hoping it would be safer there. Similar words, perilous, hazardous, risky. Eerily, meaning in a strange and frightening manner. Example, the streets were eerily silent, except for the occasional groans of zombies in the distance. Similar words, spookily, creepily, unnervingly. Desperate, meaning having an urgent need or desire, feeling a hopeless sense that a situation is so bad it is impossible to deal with. Example, Jake and Lisa fought desperately to keep the zombies at bay. Similar words, frantic, hopeless, despairing. Lunged, meaning make a sudden forward movement. Example, suddenly a zombie lunged at him from one of the rooms. Similar words, charged, sprang, attacked. Relentless, meaning oppressively constant, incessant. Example, but the zombies were relentless. Similar words, unyielding, persistent, ceaseless. Horrific, meaning causing horror, shocking. Example, a zombie story with a horrific ending. Similar words, terrifying, shocking, dreadful. Consumed, meaning completely absorbed or taken over by something. Example, their screams echoed through the night as the darkness consumed them. Similar words, devoured, enveloped, overwhelmed. Guard, meaning to watch over in order to protect or control. Example, they felt a little safer inside but knew they couldn't let their guard down. Similar words, vigilance, defense, caution. Abandoned, meaning having been deserted or left. Example, they moved from one abandoned house to another, finding temporary shelter and scavenging for food. Similar words, deserted, forsaken, empty. Story written by Copilot AI. Images created by Designer AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.